Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of The Sam Fury Show. This episode is a summary of the book $1 Million Weekend by Noah Kagan. It offers a practical roadmap for aspiring entrepreneurs to transform ideas into profitable ventures. The book emphasizes starting small, embracing rejection, and quickly validating business ideas to achieve success. It's a hands-on guide for those eager to build a thriving business in record time.
Ever dream of launching a business that just takes off?
Yeah.
Like hitting $1 million in a single weekend?
Who hasn't? Right.
Well, we're diving into Noah Kagan's $1 Million Weekend to see if that's really possible. And more importantly, what actionable steps we can, steal for ourselves.
Yeah. What really grabs you right away about Kagan's book is he doesn't mess around.
Right.
He cuts right to the chase. A lot of aspiring entrepreneurs, they get stuck overthinking.
Oh, yeah.
So his big thing is assecation.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
That whole screw it, just ship it energy.
Exactly.
But does he actually mean like launch a whole company in a weekend?
Not necessarily a full-blown launch, lights, camera, action, but he's all about proving your idea fast. He has this thing, the 48-hour money challenge. Basically, you just test if people will actually pay for what you're offering. So it's like dipping your toes in the water before you dive headfirst into the deep end.
So it's about validating your idea with real money.
Exactly.
Which is genius.
Yes.
No more getting lost in planning. You're actually getting out there and testing the waters.
Yeah, and seeing if you sink or swim, right?
Right, exactly.
You gotta.
What else does Kagan recommend for, overcoming that initial hurdle of just starting?
Well, one of the first things he talks about is defining your freedom number.
Okay.
And this really resonated with me.
Okay.
Have you ever thought about what your freedom number would be?
Honestly, no, not really.
No.
Is it kind of like a financial goal or?
Exactly. It's about identifying that magic number, that amount of money that would give you the financial security and freedom to pursue, your passions without constantly stressing about, bills and all that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I like where this is going.
Yeah.
So it's about, finding that sweet spot where you have the freedom to choose how you spend your time and your energy.
Exactly.
So how do you actually, how do you figure out your freedom number?
Well, Kagan provides a framework for calculating it, and it's based on your essential expenses and your desired lifestyle.
Good.
But it's more than just crunching numbers.
Okay.
It's about envisioning the life you want and using that as a motivator.
That makes sense. So it's not about getting rich. It's about having the freedom to live life on your own terms.
Exactly.
And I bet having that clear financial target in mind could be incredibly motivating.
I think absolutely. And this ties back to Kagan's emphasis on action.
Okay.
Once you know your why, your freedom number, it's easier to overcome that inertia and take those first scary steps.
Right.
And speaking of taking leaps of faith, Kagan has some really interesting perspectives on rejection.
Oh, tell me he has some secret formula for avoiding it.
I
think that fear of rejection holds so many people back from, even trying.
Oh, absolutely.
Myself included.
Yeah. He doesn't promise to eliminate rejection, but he does have a really interesting way of reframing it.
Okay.
Kagan actually encourages people to embrace rejection. Yeah. See it not as a failure, but as a stepping stone on the path to success.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this whole embracing rejection thing.
Sure.
How can we shift our perspective to see it as a positive?
Well, Kagan, he firmly believes that every no gets you closer to a yes.
Okay.
He even goes so far as to encourage people to seek out rejection.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, to desensitize themselves to the fear and develop that resilience.
So it's like that old saying, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Exactly.
He's definitely encouraging us to get out there and swing for the fences.
Yes.
Even if it means, striking out a few times.
Yeah, precisely. And he has this whole chapter dedicated to the power of asking. Kagan argues that most people are too afraid to ask for what they want.
That's true.
Whether it's a raise, a business deal, or even just a favor.
He's right. We often let these, self-imposed limitations hold us back.
Yes.
So how does Kagan suggest we overcome this fear of asking?
He provides a bunch of practical tips and scripts for different scenarios.
Okay.
And he emphasizes the importance of confidence, clarity, and persistence.
Right. Persistence. You got to be persistent.
You do. You can't give up after the first no.
Right. Exactly. You got to keep going.
It's like he's saying your comfort zone is killing your dreams.
Right.
But in all seriousness, that fear of putting ourselves out there, it's a real hurdle.
Oh, yeah.
For a lot of us.
Absolutely.
So once we've, mustered up the courage to ask for what we want.
How do we make sure we're actually, like, chasing the right opportunity?
Yeah, that's where part 2 of the book comes in, Build It.
Okay.
And this section really resonated with my inner pragmatist.
Okay.
Kagan dives into the nitty-gritty of validating your business idea.
Okay.
And it's all about solving real problems.
Right.
For real people.
Right, because nobody wants to pour their heart and soul into a business that nobody actually needs.
Exactly.
So how does Kagan recommend finding those million-dollar ideas?
Well, he's a huge advocate for tapping into your own experiences and frustrations. Like, what are some pain points you've encountered in your own life? What are some things you wish existed but don't?
That's such a good point. And sometimes the best ideas come from, like scratching your own itch. Right.
Yeah.
But how do you know if other people share that same need?
That's where the, that lean startup methodology comes in. Kagan talks about this in depth.
Okay.
And it's all about, testing your assumptions.
Okay.
And gathering feedback from potential customers as early and as often as possible.
So it's not about holding yourself up in your basement for months on end, perfecting your product in secret.
Yeah, yeah.
It's about getting it out there in the world, even in its early stages.
Exactly.
And seeing how people respond.
Yeah, get that feedback.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this ties back to that whole 48-hour money challenge we mentioned earlier.
Exactly.
Like, it's a brilliant way to gauge market demand.
Yes.
Before investing a ton of time and resources into something that might not even,
right.
take off.
You don't want to build something nobody wants.
I'm starting to see a theme here.
What's that?
Action,
Yeah.
validation.
Yeah.
And not being afraid to put yourself out there.
100%.
Kagan's definitely challenging those traditional notions of,
right.
how we approach entrepreneurship.
He's turning it on its head.
Right. And he doesn't stop there.
No, he does not.
Once you've, validated your idea and you're ready to start building, Kagan offers some really insightful advice on sustainable growth strategies.
He does, yeah.
And one area he focuses on is social media.
Of course, right. Everybody's got to do social media these days.
Okay, but I feel like everyone and their grandma is trying to build a following on social media these days.
It's true. It's very saturated.
So how do you actually cut through the noise?
Yeah.
And build a loyal community around your brand?
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Exactly.
And Kagan's answer might surprise you.
Okay.
He's not a fan of those, quick fix schemes.
Okay.
Or chasing vanity metrics.
Right, yeah.
For him, it all comes down to authenticity.
Okay.
And genuine connection.
So it's not about blasting out promotional messages.
No.
Or trying to, go viral overnight.
No, it's a long game.
It's about building relationships.
Exactly.
And providing value to your audience.
Let them see that you care.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that same philosophy applies to his approach to email marketing. Email marketing.
Yeah.
Seriously.
He's a big believer.
I feel like everyone's, glued to their social media feeds these days.
I know, right?
Is email really still relevant?
Kagan makes a really compelling case for it.
Okay.
He argues that unlike social media, where you're at the mercy of algorithms
Right.
and, ever-changing platforms,
Oh, yeah, they change all the time.
email, you're in control.
Okay.
You build a direct line of communication.
Okay, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
With email, you have more control over who sees your message
Exactly.
and when they see it.
100%.
But how do you make sure your emails actually get opened and read
Right.
in today's, crowded inbox?
That's where Kagan's storytelling skills come into play.
Okay.
He stresses the importance of injecting personality
Okay.
and storytelling
Okay.
into your emails.
So it's not just about sending out dry promotional content.
No, nobody wants to read that.
It's about connecting with your audience on a deeper level,
Exactly.
sharing your brand story,
Yes.
and offering them something,
Yeah.
truly valuable.
You got to give them a reason to click.
It's about crafting those emails in a way that people actually want to read them.
Yeah.
Less sales pitch, more captivating story.
Right. You actually want it, like you said, open it and read it.
Yeah.
Not just toss it in the trash.
Yeah, exactly.
And we all do.
We do. But let's say you've got the customer hooked.
Okay.
Now what?
Yeah.
How do you keep that momentum going
Right.
and actually scale your business
Yeah.
without,
Yeah.
burning out in the process.
That's where things get really interesting.
Okay.
Kagan tackles that head on in part 3.
Okay.
Grow it.
Okay.
It's not just about getting by.
Right.
It's about building a system that can grow and thrive.
Okay, so he's not talking about some, like, get-rich-quick scheme.
No.
He's talking about, like, sustainable growth.
Yeah.
Building something that lasts.
Something with legs, yeah.
What's the secret sauce?
Data.
Okay.
Kagan is a huge proponent of using data to make informed decisions about scaling your business.
So it's not just your gut.
No.
You're looking at the numbers.
Exactly. Take the emotion out of it.
Wow.
Let the data guide you. He calls it the growth machine.
Okay.
Constantly experimenting.
Okay.
Measuring your results. And then fine-tuning your approach.
Okay.
Based on what the data tells you.
So it's all about being, like, adaptable, right?
Yes.
Not being afraid to change course if something's not working.
Exactly. You got to stay agile. You can't be married to your ideas if the data's telling you to go a different way.
Right.
You got to be willing to listen.
It's about being, like, responsive to feedback and making data-driven decisions.
100%.
That makes sense, but at the end of the day, isn't building a successful business also about, like, finding something you're truly passionate about?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Kagan definitely doesn't shy away from that human element.
Okay.
In fact, his final chapter, 52 Chances this year, really struck a chord with me.
Okay.
He talks about the importance of aligning your business with your values, finding that sweet spot where your work feels meaningful and fulfilling.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's not just about chasing profits. It's about creating something, you know, you're proud of.
Exactly.
Something that aligns with, like, your purpose.
Yeah, it's got to be something you believe in.
Yeah.
Something that gets you up in the morning.
Right. That's what makes those, like, you know, long hours and the inevitable setbacks, like, worth it.
100%. You got to love what you do.
That's what it's all about, right?
That's it.
Finding that sweet spot between passion and profit.
Passion and profit. That's the dream.
Well, Noah Kagan's $1 Million Weekend has definitely given us a lot to think about.
You really have.
We've got actionable strategies.
Yeah.
A fresh perspective on, like, overcoming those entrepreneurial hurdles.
Absolutely.
And a whole lot of inspiration, honestly.
Yeah.
To, like, fuel our own ventures.
It's inspiring stuff.
It is.
He makes you want to run through a wall.
He does.
Like, go start a business today.
Yeah.
I wait till tomorrow.
While a $1 Million Weekend might sound like a lofty goal.
It's a catchy title.
It is a catchy title.
That's for sure.
Yeah, Kagan's book reminds us that success is ultimately about defining what truly matters to us.
It's personal, you know?
Yeah.
Success looks different for everyone.
It does.
It's not one size fits all.
And then taking those consistent strategic actions to, you know, make it happen.
Put in the work.
Yeah. He's given us the roadmap.
He has.
Now it's up to us to, like, take the wheel and chart our own course.
Love that analogy. Steer the ship.
So as you go forth on your, you know, entrepreneurial journey, ask yourself this.
Okay.
What unique value can you bring to the table?
Love it.
What problem are you uniquely positioned to solve?
Such a good question.
Let that be your guiding star. Until next time, keep diving deep.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of The Sam Fury Show. If you found this episode useful, let us know with a like, follow, and share. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to visit samfury.com and join the free newsletter. As a subscriber, you'll receive access to all the original book summaries, which you can download as PDFs, no more than 1 email a week, containing a roundup of the latest posts and exclusive content, which is only for the mailing list. It's completely free to join at samfury.com.